The date was June 1st, 2020. I was in the basement of an old Catholic basilica in a bustling metropolis. As I went outside and onto the street, I walked towards a peaceful neighborhood, and different people were taking walks in the fine weather. Then I heard a beautiful Christian worship song, and the faithful in Christ quickly gathered around the church in praise and celebration. I sought out to find where the music was coming from and followed the sound into a church that was attached to a building along the street. I stood in awe and admiration of the setup of the sound system and all the equipment. As I walked out of the building and onto the street, a big commotion ensued suddenly, and people ran all over the place. The commotion elicited fear rather than celebration from the people. Honored guests arrived at the old Catholic basilica, where I came out of in the beginning. They arrived in a royal entourage like no one had ever seen before. A group of altar boys led a great and orderly procession along the streets and into the church. They were clothed in white gowns, as they each held a vessel with a lighted candle using both hands. The next procession of altar boys also wore white gowns and carried idols towards the entrance of the church. The final procession was of the leaders of the Catholic Church. Leading them was an old white man, probably in his 60s and dressed like the Pope, but without the hat. He had short gray hair and freckles on his face, and carried a placard over his head with a huge picture of his own face. Following him was a man dressed like the Pope and had the Pope's hat on. The two were exactly similar in appearance, including their freckles. Other senior Catholic leaders proceeded after them along the street and into the church. There were other altar boys in white robes and laurel wreaths on their heads, standing around the entrance of the basilica. They threw petals along the path of the procession. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 3 to 4, it reads, "But I am afraid that as the serpent deceived Eve by his cunning, your thoughts will be led astray from a sincere and pure devotion to Christ. For if someone comes and proclaims another Jesus than the one we proclaimed, or if you receive a different spirit from the one you received, or if you accept a different gospel from the one you accepted, you put up with it readily enough. So as you test the spirit of this revelation, I pray that you engage the spirit of truth. For only through him do we receive the clarity of discernment." Up next is the song I heard during the Great Outpouring.